please see our wonderful associate pastor, our wonderful Reverend Ann, because we have so much fun here. I'm usually running around while they're rehearsing, and I can honestly say it doesn't feel like work. It feels like they're having fun. Because the people who are singing like to sing, and so that's what's wonderful about it. And I hear people say, yeah, but I don't have that great a voice. Do you think God looks down and says, I don't want them to sing my praise, they don't have a good voice? That doesn't happen. They make a joyful noise.
You want to sing, be here at 1 o'clock today.
Yeah. 1 o'clock they're going to be rehearsing. We'd love to have you join us. And is it next Easter I get to sing?
Easter you get to sing. When I point at you only, but
I know,
yes.
I know. Twice a year I get to sing.
That's right. Easter and Christmas.
And and we make a big to-do of it. So, come Easter Sunday and hear Dottie sing. Yes.
I forgot a quick announcement.
Yes, Chris.
It is this Wednesday that is Make a Joyful Noise, and it's getting together back there here 7 to 8:30, singing, dancing, joyful noise. Bring music if you like. I have a CD player and also the internet. So it's I'd love to have people come and sing and listen to cool, excellent music.
Wonderful.
This Wednesday, 7
This
o'clock.
Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to have a show of hands. How many people are here for the first time? Right here? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Very much. We really appreciate it. And people are probably going to come up and say, hi, my name is. And if you like to shake hands, fine. Some people like to hug. If you don't want to hug, we have this universal sign. If somebody wants to, goes to hug you, just do this. It just says, thank you very much. Or you can just say, thank you, but I don't hug. Because we want to honor who you are. And there's just sometimes, for whatever reason, people feel uncomfortable being hugged, especially if you don't know you. And so we honor that. All right, well, today's speaker is one of our newest ministers, our wonderful minister, Joan Stutes. And she is going to be talking about something that's leading into the workshop. And because she's going to be talking about playing in the fourth quarter of life. And I read that as praying in the fourth quarter of life. And I thought, well, you could do it either way you want to. I like the playfulness. So please welcome Minister Joan Stutes.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Wow, what a great morning. We're going to let our little shine. Yes. Okay, I'm going to talk about the Warriors first, okay? Just shortly.
Warriors.
Yay. Then I'm going to talk about playing in the fourth quarter. I'm going to talk about health, wealth, and life. And then I'm going to tell a little story at the end. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Okay. Here we go on the Warriors. Okay. New owner, Joe Lacob, went out to greet the fans 7 years ago to tell them of his wonderful vision. And the reception he got was a boo.
What?
How many of you remember that? Boo! All right, he said, what's going on? Well, they had traded Monte Ellis the week before. And how many of you are Warriors fans? How many of you sat through losing seasons? They either played in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, but they never played the full game, so they lost a lot. But Monte Ellis showed up, and they were finally winning. And Joe Lacob said, look, I have a vision. I have a vision. I have Steph Curry, this scrawny kid, Steph Curry. We're going to win championships, and we're going to build a new arena. And they booed, okay? Why did they boo? Because they were winning. Finally, we had some winning games. Yay! And they didn't want to give up what they had. They didn't want to give up what they had. So they booed. Okay, 7 years are gone by, right? Okay, Monta Ellis has played for 3 other teams, 2 years each team. He has not been on the All-Star team. Steph Curry has broken almost every record. Any that he hasn't broken, he will. Give him another couple of years, right?
Yep.
And have the Warriors won a championship?
Yes.
Do they have a new arena?
Yes.
They have Metallica and the San Francisco Symphony opening the new arena. And I don't know anything about it, and I'm not going, but it sounds really fabulous. So Joe Lacob had a vision, and he got busy and made it happen. And sometimes when we're approaching the fourth quarter of life, we want to hold on to what we had instead of move forward into what can be. And I love Janet's song meditation today because it moved right into that whole thing. All right, what is the fourth quarter? The first quarter, it depends. If you go by age, 1 to 25. Okay, you're at home. You're learning you're getting through school. You're learning how to navigate life. Second quarter, 25 to 50. You're getting your career going. 50 to 75. You're in your success mode. And so that's pretty well defined. Then you hit 50 to 75, and then you hit 75, you say, what's happening next? Woo, 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 woo. I don't know quite what to do, you know. Our astrology, thinking in terms of astrology, at age 28, there's a thing called the Saturn return, where changes happen, and if you remember, around age 28, you made some changes. Then again, around age 56, you made some more changes because there's another Saturn return. 56, and then at 84, I just had my birthday, 84, another Saturn return. So I'm making some changes at age 84. All right, so, and then if you notice, a lot of people die around age 84. I think they think their mission's complete, and maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. But anyway, I have noticed a lot of people who make the transition around in the 82 to 86 age range. I also look at that and say, wasn't me today. Okay. So let's talk about what it takes to live joyfully in the fourth quarter. If you watch sports events, you know we celebrate the buzzer beaters, the basketball games that are won by a buzzer beater, you know, the three-point shot that goes in and wins the game. How about the touchdown pass or the kick that wins the game in football?
Walk-off home run.
Walk-off home run. Celebrating those fourth quarter, those end times wins that come sort of miraculously. And that's what we can do, too. So how do you prepare for it? Okay, let's talk about health. So one of the decisions I made is that I was going to need more sleep if I was going to live to be age 102, which is my current goal. Okay, I was going to need more sleep. So how do I get more sleep? Well, I gave up Diet Coke, which I should have given up a long time ago. But, it's hard to give up. I quit drinking any caffeine after 9:30 in the morning, and I quit drinking beer and wine at dinner. All right, 2 things happened. I sleep better and I lost a little weight. All right, so those are some small decisions that I made because I want to live to be 102. That's 18 more years, folks. That's not much, but I can't, I need to give it every chance. I have to work to make it happen, right? So that was one of the things. Okay, lose weight, exercise. We joined the Y. My husband has dementia. How many of you know that? Some of you know that, yeah. So he's very highly functional, but one of the things I have to do is get him to the Y, which forces me to go to the Y. Do I like to exercise? Folks, I hate exercise. How many of you hate exercise? Yeah. Who wants to go down there and beat your brains out on whatever? No, but anyway, we go twice a week down to the Y, and this nice little young man helps my husband manage so that I don't have to help him. So what kind of an exercise? And I've done Pilates the last couple of years, off and on. Well, I did it very regularly for 3 years, and that helped. So some kind of an exercise program. I read where, will you believe this? More people are dying from lack of fruit and whole grains than they are from smoking.
What?
Well, that's what I read. So I thought, okay, we need to have fruit with every meal. So now I've added this new thing in, fruit with every meal. All right? Little changes that are leading to health, because what's my goal?
102.
102! You betcha. So if it means I have to eat cantaloupe for breakfast, okay, I'll eat cantaloupe for breakfast. Does it mean I go to the Y twice a week? Well, sort of. Okay, health. I've talked to some of you, and some of you are making big changes in your health patterns, and I know some of you have already made big changes. And I applaud you for that, because it's those little things that go along. Now, how many of you make a vision board? Yeah, some of you have made vision boards. Okay, there was an article in the New York Times today. Do you believe it? On vision boards. Do you believe it?
Wow.
Good things happening, folks. New York Times and vision boards. They said vision board is nice, but it's a collage unless you start working on it after you finish it.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, it doesn't fall off the vision board into your life.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it does, but that means you've done some work somewhere along the way to have it happen. Okay, vision boards. All right, so health. Dentists. My dentist is getting rich off of me. How about you? If you're young, brush your teeth. I'm telling you, 15 or 20 minutes a week on your teeth will save you thousands of dollars. Will make your retirement richer. So you can think about, in terms of investing money to form a retirement plan. Okay, here's another idea. 15 minutes a week on your teeth. Clean, floss, do whatever's necessary. Avoid the dentist. Prepare for strong teeth. Okay, health. Anything else on health I should mention? Mental health. Okay, the reason my husband has dementia, do you want to know why?
Sure.
He ate chips, sat in a chair, and stared at a computer for about 10 years. And had his brain just deteriorated. He was only using one part of his brain. So the rest of it went bonkers. That's my theory. Now, we do brain health workshops. Maybe we'll do another one in May or June. And Dr. Nesta Medina talks about how dementia can be avoided. Guess what? A variety of activities, good diet, exercise, all the basic health things.
Gee, what an idea.
Isn't that unique and special? Unfortunately, some of these common truths are just really truths. Okay, wealth. If you haven't figured out your money yet, or if you don't know how to figure out your money, or if you find money hopeless, call me. I am a financial advisor. I will sit down, no charge, no obligation, and walk you through basic financial concepts of saving money, paying off your credit card debt, preparing for the future. My company has Transamerica Financial Advisors has a wide range of products available that we can talk about. But some simple things where you really don't need me. Basically, you don't need me at all. Basically, you need to spend less than you make. Yeah. So that you have money left over each month. Yeah, that's rule 1. There's only 2 ways to manage money. Spend less or earn more. Yeah, that's what I talk about to my clients. Okay, you're spending too much. What do you want to do? Spend less or earn more? Okay, which one? Let's go for it.
I heard an old farmer in western Kansas after a government official come out to talk about finances. After 45 minutes, the farmer stood up and he says, I think what you're trying to tell us is if you go exceed your income, your upkeep will be your downfall.
Yeah.
The guy left.
Exactly. So, spend less or earn more. Those are your choices. Big truth. I hate to break the news to you. Social Security is not going to cover your living expenses,
Nope.
especially if you stay in the Bay Area. Yeah. So you have to have savings, or you have to have a business, or you have to have created investment income of some sort. You're going to need more than Social Security to make ends meet and have a good life. All right, money. Every Saturday I sit down and go through my bank accounts and my credit cards and make payments and get things under control. It's the first time I've done this. I've done this the last, I think, 3 years. First time in my life I've done this. I'll tell you how I used to do my bookkeeping. Okay, I used to do it the 6 weeks before taxes were due, part of each night, usually from 10 to 2 a.m., 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. I would do my year's bookkeeping. And at the end of it, I knew sort of what happened with my business. I was in real estate for a long time before I was in financial services. And so that's how I did my bookkeeping. I never had a firm grasp on anything. So it's amazing that I went into the financial services industry, right? You know, we're always teaching what we need to learn.
Right.
So I needed to learn how to manage money and how to deal with money. And so I got into this whole business. What is it that you need to learn? There's something you need to learn. Tackle it. On the way here, I was thinking, you know, I forget what it was. I thought, but you know what? I don't know how to do that. I thought, I can learn that. I don't know what it was, but I did pass the securities exam at age 75. Yeah, it's hard. A lot of people don't ever pass it. So I feel pretty good about that. Okay, money. Make your plans now. I have a friend who just retired from the school district. They started at age 25, socking away money and making plans for their retirement. Did I do that? No, I didn't do that. I knew that everything was going to be okay somehow, and it is okay somehow, but they're in a much more solid foundation than I have been most of my life, because they started young. They started early with some basic ideas. Okay, there's only 2 ways to solve financial problems. If you don't remember anything else, remember this, okay? You have to spend less or earn more. And then you have to have something left over each month, and you have to create a fund for your retirement. And we'll talk more about that in the workshop. All right, so money. And how do you figure out how much money you need? You know, that's a toughie, and it takes a while to figure that one out. As I said, I'll be happy to sit down with you and work through it. I don't care how little you have, how basic it is, whatever it is, I'll do that. Okay. Now let's talk about life. Okay. You've now made decisions about health. You've now heard about money. So now we're going to talk about fun. Okay. So what do you do once you reach 75?
Work.
Work? Okay. I chose to work. I love to work. I talked to my brother. He's 2 years younger than me. He's working like 14 hours a day creating organic fertilizer out of dead fish. Yeah. It's a big thing now, but when he started it 15 years ago, it was not a big thing. He says, you know, Joan, I just love to work. I just love it.
That'll work.
Yeah, to him that's big play. The only book he had in his house when I went to see him was Chemical Formulas. This is the kid that almost got flunked out of college and got put into a workshop teacher program because he was so dumb. He was on a football scholarship, and they said, we need you in football. Sign up for workshop. Yeah, so now all he does is chemical formulas. Isn't that amazing? As you know, he didn't know how to do it. Can he learn? Obviously he did, right? I want to share with you one of the things that I've learned. A friend of mine, I randomly called one day and I said, what have you been doing, Benny? And she said, I've been teaching painting. I said, really? I didn't know you painted. Oh, I've always painted. Really? How do I not know that about one of my good friends? And you're teaching it. What kind of painting? Oil painting, landscapes. Really? I've always wanted to do oil painting, landscapes. Let's go for it. So for 2 years, I went to her house and drank coffee and we painted. Now this is sort of the first painting. This is one I recently did. I couldn't find my first painting, but this is one I recently did that's very much like the very first painting that I did with Bunny on Sunday afternoon, 2 hours drinking coffee. And this is one that was very early in this oil painting adventure. And you can see that it's pretty dull and it's pretty basic. And this is one, this is the very last one that I did. Okay, in 2 years, 2 years, every Sunday, 2 hours. Is that a big time commitment?
Yes.
No. No, I mean, think about it.
Oops.
It's not a big time commitment. And yet, I got to where I was pretty good. I'm very proud of this painting.
Are you going to donate it to the auction?
No, I'm not, because it's my favorite. This is my favorite one. I have others I may donate. But you can see that in 2 hours a week, something changed. Okay?
Exactly.
Something changed. Okay, now this is one I may donate. This is one of my very favorites.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I did donate one to my granddaughter's church, Bethel Church, and it sold for $30. So somebody has one of my paintings. I don't know. Okay, I always wanted to paint. What do you always want to do? What is it that you want to do? I know Smitty goes to a writing class, 1 hour a week. I've gone to writing classes, and over again, 2 years. Does it happen instantly? No. Because, you see, on this one, I was listening to the teacher, and I was doing exactly what the teacher said. And it's kind of glary, but it's okay.
Well, it's the way it looks. That's the way Hawaii looks.
Yeah,
The tropics.
I don't like it. But on this one,
Yeah, donate it.
nobody want to buy that one.
It's upside down.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
On this one, I was listening to myself, and I had little ideas. Try this, Joan, try that. Joan, it's like writing. Eventually you get to the point of, well, why don't you say it this way? Try it this way. We go to plays, And Carol, we're going to Theater Works today, so we'll see you up there. We go to the symphony. Well, I just got back from the Grand Ole Opry. How many of you have been there? Oh my God, it's the most American thing you can do. It is so corny. Have you seen it on TV? Yeah, it's on the radio. Anyway, I just got back from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Nashville, St. Louis, driving around. I don't think we'll do that again. It's hard. I just had a lot of trouble with the driving. And, you know, my husband and I used to sail. We'd rent a sailboat and sail around the Caribbean. And then we went to a lecture on how to do that. We just did it. We didn't know there were books and lectures on how to do it. And when they got through outlining all the tragedies that could happen, at the end of it, I said, you know what? We've had all those tragedies, we've survived. I think we better stop while we're ahead. So there's a time when you say it's too hard. And I think this last trip, I told him, I said, you know what? This is too hard. I don't think we'll do it again. But we did it. You know, we got to see my grandson. We got to see Nashville is spring break. Don't go during spring break. We got to see the Grand Ole Opry. We got to see his brother and sister, probably for the last time. And so we accomplished a lot. But guess what? It's too hard. We're not going to do it again, probably. But what new things can you bring into your life? What new things? What did you always want to do that you're willing to devote 2 hours a week? I'm not a big time commitment. I went to Pilates. That was 1 hour a week. I'm walking much better now because of Pilates, 1 hour a week. What are you wanting to bring into your life? What vision do you have? What are you going to cling to what you've had? Are you going to move forward? There's all kinds of theater, symphony, art exhibits. Did you know Monet paintings are up at the Legion of Honor right now? You know, how precious is that? There's all kinds of things, especially here in the Bay Area, that you can do. What does your heart tell you to do? What is aching for you to bring forward? Okay, I'm going to tell you one more story. So the Warriors had a vision, and they booed him, and the vision has come into reality, right?
Right.
We've covered health, make some little changes. If nothing else, eat fruit every meal. Money, spend less than you make, or make some more money. Number 3 is, what does your heart ache for you to do? Follow that. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. 2 hours a week is not a big deal. 1 hour a week is not a big deal. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story about my mom. My mom lived in a mobile home park that she helped develop down in Southern California in a town called Paris. It's near Lake Elsinore. I called it the flea market capital of the world because it's a very poor community. But anyway, she found this place and had her mobile home down there. And my dad had died many years ago, over 30 years ago. And she'd run around with various guys at my instruction. I instructed her how to do this. So, but she was single. She'd never married again. And most of the people in this mobile home park were little old ladies like her, okay? And this man moved in. Oh my God. And they were so excited. And they were all buzzing around, inviting him to breakfast, inviting him to lunch, inviting him to dinner. And my mom said, yeah, it's a guy. I don't want to cook breakfast anymore, Joan. I'm not cooking breakfast anymore. So anyway, she was visiting my sister, and she went to Quartzsite, and she went here and there. And pretty soon he came knocking on their door. And he says, you never invited me to breakfast. She said, I don't cook breakfast. He said, well, let's go have breakfast. Well, anyway, the end result is, out of all the little old ladies in the park, he picked her.
Aw.
And they spent 5 years. They drove clear across to Florida, and he had a newer motorhome. They drove to Florida. They had a wonderful time together. They did not get married. They were pals. They helped each other. They had all kinds of adventures, and probably the best years of his life. Okay, certainly the most adventurous. And for my mom, he had a little bit more money, so it was helpful to my mother. So they ended up, when she was 85, he ended up being very ill. And she had some hip replacement problems and so forth. And so it became obvious they should get married so they could get medical information more easily for each other. So they got married. Yeah, 85. My brother said, Mom, you didn't rob the cradle, you robbed the grave. He had congestive heart failure when they met, and it got worse. So shortly after they got married, about 4 months after they got married, he got sick and was in the hospital, and very, very ill. And the doctor said, okay, Miss Schneider, I don't know if he's going to make it through the night or not. It's very, very serious. Just go home and call me in the morning. And my mom went in and sat by Fritz's bed and said, Fritz, I love you. And we've had so much fun. And I adore you. And you've been so helpful. And it would be really helpful if you lived until December, because then I could get your Social Security. Do you believe people can choose to die?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So anyway, it was a longer prayer than that, trust me. But anyway, she went home, and she called the hospital in the morning and said, oh, Miss Schneider, the doctor wants to talk to you. She said, oh my God, what's going on? Miss Schneider, I do not know what's happening, but he is sitting up in bed eating bacon and eggs, and I can probably release him later today. Yes, praise God. He lived until December. Yes. And she got his Social Security, which was like 3 times what my dad got. And our family benefited from it. And I'm here to tell you that prayer works.
Yay.
Yay!
Hallelujah.
Especially if he hears you.
Okay, so how are you going to play in the fourth quarter? Make it a buzzer beater. Make it a Hail Mary touchdown pass. Make it a last-minute kick right through the goalposts. Make it a walk-off run. I'm not familiar with baseball, but walk-off run?
Home run.
Walk-off home run. Make it a home run with bases loaded. I know that.
Yes.
Grand slam.
Woohoo!
Okay, so I challenge you to go forward and play in the fourth quarter jubilantly.
I've got something to leave you with on that, which I thought was interesting. I read an article addressed to women, and they said, orgasms are better after 80.
Yay.
Gives you something to live for, you know? Didn't say anything about guys, but women got something going there. Okay, and this is now our choir. Here we go.